Welcome back to Not Real Fishing, everybody, and today we are going to the industrial pond. But today's my birthday, so we're gonna kind of take it easy. And my girlfriend got me a new Tenkara rod. It's a Go Tour 180, I think. I'll show you all the rod when we get to the pond. It's a bit smaller than some of my other ones. It's definitely lighter. The goal for today is just to try it out on some bluegills and hopefully catch a couple. I do have two flies that are in my tackle bag, or my GoPro bag, that are a little bit larger than the one she bought me, because she bought me a fly for, you know, my birthday as well. And I'm gonna use that one as well as the other two that I have. So we have 3 flies, 1 rod, and no reel. See, 1 rod, 1 reel. Anyway, so the line we're using today is we're using just some 20-pound mono, because I don't have any like nylon leader line, and I don't have any fly line backing, and that 200-pound whatchamacallit, bow fishing line will be way too heavy for this rod. So we're going to be going very, very light. So the goal is definitely going to be bluegills. We might hook into a bass when we switch to the slightly larger fly. I wouldn't be opposed to it. It'd be really fun to catch a bass on that rod, because the little bass that are in that pond with that rod will be pretty much like hooking into a 4 or 5 pound bass on my Imago. So I mean, these bluegills are going to be a fight, so I'm looking forward to it. That's if we get anything. It's currently like 5:30, I think, and sunsets it's like 6:30, 7 o'clock, so we have a little bit of time before the sun sets. So that's the goal. So yeah, anyway, I'll meet you guys at the water. Alright guys, we have made it to the water. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and tie our line up here. My girlfriend also got me a spool of tippet right here, and she got me a tippet holder, which I've never owned one of these, so I'm definitely excited. And what we're gonna do, does this like spin around somehow? That'd be kind of cool if it did. I don't know, because I wonder if I can. Nope. So okay, so you have to take it off every time. I've never owned one of these, so I'm trying to figure out how this one works. So we're gonna use some 3.3 pound tippet, some 6X, just this nylon tippet material. And like I said, we're tying it a 20-pound mono. The rod we're using today is the Go Tour Moonlight. It's the 180. I know these rods are fairly inexpensive on the budget side of things, but it's been my experience, just because something isn't, you know, high priced and expensive doesn't mean that it's, you know, anything worse than what's out there. Now, it's of course not going to be on the levels of, like, you know, Dragon Tail or you know, whatchamacallit, you know, Tenkara USA, which are my personal favorites, just because that's the ones that I started with and I've always used them. But I have nothing against Dragon Tail, never used any of their products, but I know a lot of people do. I've just never had the opportunity. So we're gonna tie this on, and then I will show you all the fly and we'll get started. All right guys, this is the fly we're using. It's like a little nymph pattern. I've used it before. I don't tie these personally. I've bought these online. I've never tied them myself because I don't know the pattern, but I do like them. So, as a matter of fact, I think there's a bass right there, just chilling in front of this drainage culvert. I'm gonna see if we can get down there. I doubt he's gonna eat this, but oh, there's 2 of them. Try not to spook him. He's small, but we're gonna start right here. Keep our line. Of course, the wind is going to be in our face for this. Oh, I forgot. careful because it has no memory in it yet. So it tends to come off your whatchamacallit very easily. Your Lillian. It goes away after a certain amount of time, but there's been quite a few times where this has happened where I've gone to a couple casts, it lost its connection, and then just slings off of the Lillian, which is never a good situation. So you just want to be sure, once you catch a few fish, it stops doing it. But until then, there we go. That felt pretty good. So first one of the day. Little bluegill. He ate that with no hesitation either. He was chasing it. There we go. Fly, bluegill. I'm gonna kind of toss him over this way because I don't want to, well, I don't see that bass anymore, so I guess it's fine. I didn't want to get too close to the water and spook that bass, but I guess it's kind of late now. All that splashing, so we're gonna get down here to the water's edge. I just spooked him. I saw him take off. We're gonna let this little guy go right here. There you go, bud. And he's out of here. All right, well now we're just gonna kind of fish this. Obviously, not the best situation right now because we're fishing into the wind and this line is very light. There we go. Feels really nice there. Yeah. It's a nice little gill on a very light line. Very, very light line. Oop. Well, he's gone, guys. Wasn't he nice? Pretty fish that I got to show y'all all his pretty features. I think I have a wind knot in my line, but I can't tell because there's algae all over it. Actually, no, there's not a wind knot. It was just a loop. Cool. So we're gonna clean the algae off of this and hopefully catch a couple more. Like I said, we might eventually switch to a bigger fly. What I have to get used to is because of this, more algae. This fly is, this line is so light compared to the past few times I've gone. I have to fish this kind of slow. As far as the casting speed, because there's so much wind in my face, I really have to let it load. That was a good little fight there, bud. Another pretty gill. That hook is in there, ain't it there, bud? Another pretty little gill, guys. Go and get him to the edge and let him go. And he's off. It's a very fat bluegill too. Or sunfish if it's not a bluegill, I'm just saying. Looks like a bluegill. Probably tastes like a bluegill. He was chasing a bass for it. I saw the bass go after it and he chased it. Stole it from the bass. That was rude, sir. See what happens when you're rude? Hey. There we go, guys. Oh. Look at him, he's an independent fish. You don't need my help. Would you change your mind? You want me to help you now? Come on. Okay. Well, he's nothing if not committed to his craft of I will get away. You will not show me. I am independent. Alright guys, we made it to the end. Oh, I'm about to fall over. And we're going to go ahead and change. We're putting on this bigger kabari. It still has a smaller hook on the back, so if it does, any nice sized bluegill in there, they can still get hooked. But the reason why I'm going to go ahead and switch to this is because this is where we hooked that bass last time we were here. And I had to use my phone to record it because my GoPro was overheating. Which is another reason why I've been going in the afternoons, is because it's just been so hot. My GoPro can't handle it. So we're gonna do a few casts with this. Hopefully we'll get that bass, get a bass to bite. If we do, then we'll just call this achieved and we'll change back to that smaller fly and go back to hunting bluegill. If we hook into this bass and it breaks our rod, well, we'll figure something out from there. I'm also kind of hoping that this heavier fly is gonna help with the wind issue. I'm just trying to get a little bit closer to the water. I see bluegill and stuff swimming already. And the wind, of course, is getting blocked by that big hill back there. It's another reason why I wanted to fish over here. Ah, we had something. Feel like it could have been a little bass, I'm not sure. Gave me a wind knot though. I need to resolve that really fast, guys. Very little nibble there. That guy hit hard for his size. We're gonna go ahead and creep a little bit closer to the edge. We're just gonna spook anything near the edge, but then again, we probably already spooked it. This will give us an extra 3 inches of reach at least. There we go, guys. Very nice little bluegill. Now I'm trying to sit here and be as still as possible. Alright guys, we're switching back to the fly we were starting with. And we're going to target the gills that are over here because I'm seeing quite a few of them swimming around. So we're going to target those instead. Since Mr. Bass doesn't want anything to do with us. That one's hungry. This should work almost instantly. This fly works really good for bluegill and such, I find. Little guy. But he wanted it. Very pretty little colors on his chest there. Very nice little gilly gill. I'm gonna toss him though, because I personally don't want to get in front of that drain pipe after I heard something moving around in there. Call me paranoid, call me whatever you want, but today we're gonna call it still breathing. Oh, that wasn't a good cast, but I'll leave it for a second. Angry little booger, aren't you? Very pretty little bluegill, guys. You know what I haven't tried with this rod yet, but I'm about to? Let's try a little, oh yeah, that's a great slingshotting rod. Great for that. Dang, you choked it, buddy. He choked it. Absolutely choked it. There we go, guys. Another little gill. Gonna let him go as well. Alright guys, what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go we're gonna head back up that way and fish that other culvert on the opposite side, and then we're gonna probably call it. I don't have enough reach. Yeah, there's quite a few of them down there. But they're gonna see me as soon as I get up near them. Yep, they're scooting on off. One other place we can check is in this culvert. Sometimes when the water levels pick up like this, there's a lot of fish like bass and stuff that get stuck in there. And they generally tend to be pretty hungry. And this rod's a nice length for it. Generally, if they're there, I can see them. I don't see them currently. Doesn't mean they're not there. They're a little greeny. Check them out. Big and angry. Ah, feisty little devil. And a little greenie. Oh, okay. So many little bluegill. Angry, feisty little bluegill. I prefer fishing from this side, just because the way the current lays. We're gonna try something. Tiny little gill. Barely hooked in the lip too. But we're gonna keep on moving, guys. Caught a couple there, but we're gonna keep moving. Still no really large bluegill we've hooked yet. So we haven't really given this rod its full test yet. Some of those were actually fairly nice. This rod is it's kind of like if you look at the Roto, which is the only rod I could think of that's close to it. It's very similar to the Roto in the way that it fights and that it has quite a bit of backbone for its size. But the casting, it's not as flexible. So it's a bit harder to cast it because it's stiffer. But at the same time, that stiffness plays to its favor whenever you're fighting a fish, which I'm gonna get as close as I can to this culvert without spooking them. There's generally some nice sized bluegill and bass over here. I don't know if I want to put on a bass fly or keep this on. I really don't. I kind of want to put on a bass fly, but at the same time, the way this wind is operating, I don't know how good it'll do. And we've caught enough fish to say this is technically a successful trip. But the thing is, I don't see any bass swimming around. Generally, if they're here, they're sitting right in front of that culvert. There we go. Little gilly gill. Okay. I'm just gonna help him out in a second. Let me get this stuff off my rod, because I don't want to move that far forward yet, because there's some bigger gills down there. He's not one of them. Dude, I'm trying to help you out. So rude. Little guy. Not where I wanted that to go, but. All right, guys, we're gonna call it there. That was a pretty good trip. Nothing. Seatbelts give me some attitude. No. Yeah.
I will capture it, and if they kind of run fast.
Sorry. Age of Empires stuff. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, we're gonna call that video here, guys. Didn't catch anything large. We hooked into one nice sized bass, but I think it was just barely in his lip because it obviously didn't stay on. But there's always a chance that next time we'll get him. So the rod handled nicely. I don't know how much it was because out of respect for my girlfriend, I don't want to go online and look it up and be like, oh, you got me a rod that was so-and-so money. But I do know GoTour, like I said earlier, tends to be on the more budget-friendly side of things. So if you are thinking about getting into Tenkara, GoTour is not a bad place to start. And you know, there's also another differing thought of, yes, they don't handle as good as, you know, Dragon Tail, or like I was saying earlier, Tenkara USA. There's another one, what is it, Zen Tenkara, maybe? Maybe that's a YouTuber, I don't know. But I know there's a lot of different companies out there. What is the other one? Man, I can't remember. There's another really big Tenkara company that's, I don't want to leave anybody out, but I mean, not like it really matters. None of them do any business with me anyways, but you know, in the future, you never know, they won't send me a rod. Anyway, but yeah, so they're definitely good rods for that. But the benefit of them is you can buy 4 or 5 of them for, you know, the price of one really nice rod. Because I think like my Roto was like, I think $200, $180. I think, what are they building here? What in the world is that? Anyway, they're rebuilding the entire like shopping center over here. It threw me off for a second there, guys. Sorry. The GoTour ones are great because, you know, like some of the other rods are like, you know, anywhere from $80 to $200+, and you could buy 2 or 3 of those GoTour rods, you know, a nice 12-foot one for like, I think $20 maybe 22, depending on which ones you get, especially like the Breeze line that they have, which is the green ones. I have a 24-foot version of that one, and I think I only paid like $34 for that, and that's 24 feet long, which is not bad at all. Maybe that one was 64, I don't remember. Anyway, either way, they're very inexpensive rods. And if, jeez, that siege, I'm getting beat up today. I don't know, I'm just trying to do this intro and survive, and it's just my birthday. I just want to enjoy my day. Everything's attacking me. But yeah, they're good because if you break them, they're not hard to replace. And I do know that the GoTour does have replacement parts you can buy on Amazon as well. So if you break just the tip, then just order just the tips, and they're very cheap. Granted, Tenkara USA, and I don't know about Dragon Tail, but I know Tenkara USA does. They have a lifetime warranty on their rods, meaning that if you break a tip, you call them, tell them your tip broke, and they'll send you a new one. Generally, all you have to do is pay the shipping. I think, I don't remember, I've only broken 1 tip, and that was a long time ago, but I've had good results with their customer service. So yeah, that's pretty much it. But yeah, if y'all enjoyed the video, like, comment, share, subscribe, and take it easy.